Welcome to Better with Phoebe. I'm Phoebe and I help people build lives they love by taking charge of their thoughts and their time. In this video, I am not going to tell you to wake up extra early, but I am going to help you figure out when you should wake up so that you can start the day energized, walk through it productive, and end it with no regrets. Let's get one thing out of the way. There are a billion videos, articles, and blog posts out there recommending early wake-ups. And a lot of times the takeaway is that you can't be happy, healthy, and productive if you're not waking up at 6, 5, 4. I've even seen people recommend waking up at 3 a.m. and this is just not true. There's nothing about human biology or human psychology that destines early risers for success. And I say this as a person who wakes up at 5 a.m. every morning. The thing that sets early risers apart is that they approach life with more intention, more mindfully than folks who just roll out of bed whenever they feel like it. And by doing so, they're teaching themselves skills that help them be more successful in life. Skills like self-control, mindfulness, planning, goal setting, willpower management. That's what makes early risers more likely to be successful. But you don't have to get up early to develop those skills. So let's just jettison this idea that waking up early is something to strive for its own sake. If you get to the end of this video and think, man, I don't have to get up until 10 a.m. Awesome. You are just as valid and just as high potential as the person who gets to the end of this video and thinks, I think I want to get up at 5 a.m. All right? Let's jump into it. To find the ideal wake-up time for you, you just have to answer 4 easy questions. And the first one is, how much sleep should you be getting every night for your own physical needs? Now, the National Sleep Foundation recommends that the average adult should be getting somewhere between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. Now, that's an average. There are some extremely lucky human beings who can get by and feel very good on less than 7 hours of sleep, and there are some unlucky individuals who need more than 9 hours of sleep to feel good when they wake up in the morning. If you're not sure where you lie on the spectrum, start with 8 and see how you feel. Now again, this is 8 hours of good sleep every single night. Not shortchanging yourself during the week and binge sleeping on the weekends. This is getting consistent, good sleep every single night. It's really important. Something you should look into is the concept of sleep debt, which scientists have done tons of research in and found that if you are consistently shortchanging yourself on sleep, you accumulate sleep debt, and that sleep debt can wreak havoc on your mental and physical health. So make sure that you're figuring out exactly how much sleep you need to feel good and that you're getting it every single night. The second question you have to answer is, when is your first hard commitment of the day? Now, for most people, that's going to be, when does your commute need to start for you to get to your first destination on time? But for others, like me, who work from home, it might be, when do you need to open your laptop and check in and say, hello, I am working today? The third question you have to answer is, when does your last hard commitment of the day end? So again, for most people, that's going to be, when do you usually walk in the door from commuting from your last destination home? Question number 4, what are your must-dos and should-dos for your morning? Now, this is where people mess it up because they will try to make that list as short as possible so that they can spend as much time cozy in bed. Now, I get it. But if you want to have a productive morning that sets you up for success, you have to really give yourself enough time to get through that list of must-dos and should-dos before you have to get out the door. Hygiene should be on everyone's list of must-dos, and please don't take any shortcuts there, but really the place where people tend to shortchange themselves to their own detriment is their list of should-dos. It's probably a good idea to try to get a breakfast inside you before you walk out the door. And if you're inclined to a morning beverage, making that coffee or tea at home instead of buying it while you're out. Another really good idea is to take your time making sure that you have packed and prepped anything that you might need for the events of the day. Pretty simple, right? There's no need to wake up at 5 a.m. if you're the kind of person who's just trying to do the minimum in the morning. But make sure that you're actually giving yourself enough time to do that minimum well. So if you find that you struggle with sleep, or you feel rushed in the morning, or you struggle with tardiness, stop here and really focus on getting good sleep, practicing good sleep hygiene, making sure that you are getting up on time, making sure that you are taking enough time to methodically do those minimum things in the morning and that you're getting out the door on time. Focus on those fundamentals, get them really solid. I promise that if you're having a smooth morning, even if you're just doing the minimum, your day is gonna go so much smoother. And I'd encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I do videos on sleep, sleep hygiene, and mornings all the time, and you'll really enjoy them. Once you're consistently sleeping well, getting up on time, and getting out the door on time, consider whether intentionally blocking off time to work on your personal goals could enrich your life. I don't have time is a convenient excuse. And if we're being honest, a lot of times we use it to get out of taking responsibility for how we're actually spending our time. But the truth is, you probably have more free time than you realize. So it's useful to actually calculate how much free time you have to devote to the things that you must, should, and want to do. Now, the intent here is not to make yourself feel guilty or to beat yourself up. It's to have awareness so that you can make these decisions with intention, which results in less regret. So calculate how much personal time you actually have. How much time is there between the end of your very last commitment of the day and the time that you need to be in bed so that you can have a good night's sleep and wake up rested in the morning? That's how much personal time you have to work with. And you can do a lot with that time, most likely. The second thing you want to do is consider what your personal priorities are and if it makes more sense to devote time to them in the morning, in the evening, or on the weekends. Then make a small commitment to spend 5 to 15 minutes on those personal priorities every single day. You have 5 minutes, you might even have 15. Start small, even if you're feeling ambitious, and work your way up to something larger. Whatever it is that's important to you, you're not going to be able to accomplish it in a day. So it's really important to make sure that whatever it is that you're going to incorporate into your evenings or your mornings every single day to make progress on your personal priorities is actually sustainable. And that's why I say choose something that will only take 5 to 15 minutes. If you go in deciding that you're going to spend an hour on your priority every single day, that might not necessarily be sustainable for you. And it would be better for you to start slow than burn out fast. What's one thing that you've been putting off because you don't have time that you're going to try to make progress on this week? Tell me in the comments. If you want to build a life you love, hit the subscribe button or join my newsletter in the link in the description. I'm Phoebe. This is Better with Phoebe. I hope you have a great day and an even better tomorrow. Thank you so much for spending some of your time with me today, and I will see you next week.